Everyone, we're live. Thanks for joining us for a MoonDAO Town Hall. Today is a special one. We're going to be reviewing all of the quarter's projects. So we have 4 projects this quarter, and everyone is going to present their project. And then, like many of you guys already know, the community will vote to allocate this quarter's rewards to each of the projects. So there's a good amount of ETH that's up for grabs. There's Mooney that's up for grabs, and your votes will select which projects you think are progressing MoonDAO's mission and have successfully achieved their objectives. So yeah, it's exciting. Before we get into that, we've got a few updates. So there have been a couple votes, proposals that have passed. One in particular is the executive branch proposal funding 6 more months of operations for the executive branch. Yeah, I think it passed by a lot. So thank you guys for your confidence, vote of confidence in the EB branch. And yeah, we've got a lot of really exciting stuff that we've been working on, and we're really excited to get out there. And you'll hear a lot of the updates over the past 6 months from the executive branch as well. There is something of note. So the project system vote, so there's a vote to adapt the project system, and it just barely did not pass, actually. So we recounted all of the votes and realized that the 2/3 threshold was not met. So we're going to resubmit this proposal and implement some of the changes from a couple of our community members. And yeah, so what this also means is that this quarter we'll be following the same project system that we did the previous quarter. Yeah, we won't move to this new format for the project system until this new proposal passes. And yeah, I'm also going to pass it over to Ryan to discuss another vote that a lot of you guys have participated in. That's really exciting. So Ryan, go ahead.
Cool. Yeah. Just a reminder to everyone that the Art Rocket project has a vote open right now. We had 14 amazing submissions, really cool ideas for potential future projects that MoonDAO might take on. But yeah, they're cool ideas, really cool people. We have a vote open right now. So of those 14 people, we're going to send one of them to Kazakhstan, to Baikonur, to see the Art Rocket launch here at the end of November, which is a pretty amazing, unique opportunity. Not a lot of people obviously get to see launches from Kazakhstan, so it's pretty special, and it'll be a crewed launch. So please do, take 30 minutes or so, watch the videos, people that have submitted their cool ideas in video format and also in written format, so you can flip through the written format as well. But yeah, I'd encourage you to take a look there and be sure to get your votes in over the weekend. We'll leave the vote open for that through the 13th, so next Monday evening, just because it is a holiday weekend in the United States anyways, so we'll be able to leave the vote open for the long holiday weekend, and then should be able to get back with the winner here on early next week, hopefully Tuesday. So yeah, check out moondao.com/artrocket to see all the entries and cast your vote there. But cool. So yeah, I guess we can start working our way through the 4 projects that we have this quarter. We do have the Art Rocket project. We have the World's Biggest Analog Scholarships from Bob. We have the IAC paper from Sheepy Anna, and of course the executive branch proposal. So I guess since I already mentioned the Art Rocket project, I guess I can just kick things off there. We do have a video from Anastasia because she is still on Australia time, so I will present that, and then I will probably go through some of the points in the actual final report. So let me queue up that video here. I'll hop off stage.
Hello, MoonDAO. I'm happy to announce the final results of our Art Rocket project in Brazil. And we so far have been to 5 hospitals. We gave talk in several universities, at Habitat Marte, to high school kids. And overall, if we can approximate the number of people that we've seen, met, and affected, it can be up to 2,000. Which is amazing. Apart from that, of course, we had TV stations coming, media outlet, news outlet, and we had a widespread coverage of our event in different cities. So also we can approximate that at least 1 million viewers, at least 1 million Brazilians who saw our project and read about it. Um, Also, we had 5 new MoonDAO citizens from Brazil, and this is as an effect of our MoonDAO get-together in Rio, where Ryan and I and Ayman were explaining how MoonDAO works and why people should join. So apart from that, we also had people from, not from this event, but from other events, from universities. And as amazing continuation of this project, we have this contest to win the ticket to go to the rocket launch at Baikonur. We received more than 10 applications with amazing ideas, very high quality, and it will be really hard for all of us to vote and choose. But what is more important, that all those ideas we can later on put into a new proposals, and it can have like a ripple effect of our project, a continuation of ideas that were born from our Rocket project in Brazil. I think it was a great success, and I hope we can continue with MoonDAO, do similar projects in new countries, and spread love, love, and being really productive for space exploration. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, sorry if the audio was a little bit quiet there. Didn't see any way that we could turn it up here on our end if it was recorded that way. But yeah, let me pull up the final report and we can go through some of the bigger objectives and OKRs here. So yeah, it was a pretty special project in terms of just the impact that we had on people's lives in Brazil and some of the connections that we made. I think it was a really, really cool thing to be involved with, well, both personally and just MoonDAO to be involved with the project. As she said there, we visited more than 500 patients throughout, was it 5 or 7 hospitals? I think it was 7 workshops in total across 5 different hospitals. But yeah, more than 500 patients, and we also had interactions with a number of university students, high school students, and some elementary schools as well. So everyone was really, really kind of excited to come out and meet Iman, meet the cosmonaut, not something that they obviously get a lot of opportunities to do there in Brazil. So yeah, one of the key results here was to hold 12 art therapy workshops, reaching 500 patients. We did 7 plus the 5 public talks in different schools. So I guess there's our 12 basically. Another key result was to have this reach 100 plus media stories, reaching millions of people, featuring Iman's journey and the story here. William, who was part of the Brazil team, or one of the key people on the ground there in Brazil, compiled this great report here about the media coverage. I don't know if I'll pull it up here, but these are some graphics here. You can access the spreadsheet here and the link. Obviously, we shared all the final reports in Discord. But yeah, there were a lot of publications across, well, Instagram was the main platform, but across other platforms, estimated at 280,000 views just on Instagram, plus other platforms. We've got stats on across which cities was kind of the biggest impact. We did have a lot of press come out in Natal, which was really cool. TV interviews, things like that. Here's a screenshot from MoonDAO's Instagram. So this only represents one side of the equation, but yeah, we saw, 860,000 plus views over that time. Of course, not everything is attributed to Brazil, but there was a massive bump during the Brazil trip. So, I mean, it can only be assumed that a lot of this was due to the Brazil outreach. We had a 300% increase in terms of the accounts reached, and basically 300% increase across both profile activity and profile visits and external link clicks too. So overall it was a pretty, I think it was pretty impactful in terms of the reach that we had just on social media, let alone traditional media or TV outlets, things like that. We got a fair amount of new citizens. I'll get to that in a moment, but also like new followers, quite a few new followers across Instagram. I think it was about a 10% bump in total followers. We got links here to some of the some great stories, or some of the stories that came out of it that we thought were pretty well done or had a pretty good reach in terms of the number of views and interactions they had. But yeah, a few learnings here. Sometimes it was tricky working with the governmental institutions, just being slow to take action. We had a lot of success with collab posts. So that's just where, we're both publishing the same thing across both accounts. So we get the reach from our end and from their end. But yeah, some entities weren't necessarily willing to do that, but when we could do that, that was a great way to boost our impact. But I think we could have done more to really lay some groundwork there in the future. Like the Rio event was kind of the Rio social event where we just invited this local space community, local space influencers to come out and hang out on the beach, basically with the astronauts and hang out with MoonDAO. It was kind of a last minute spontaneous thing. It wasn't well planned out, but it still had a great impact. People came out, had a great time, published a lot of stuff. So we got like a higher reach just because of that one event in Rio than we otherwise would have had in Rio. Just because there wasn't as much, I don't want to say interest, but there wasn't as much involvement from the press at that point in the trip, our first stop. So things had picked up as we went on, I think, as we built up steam. So we could have laid more groundwork, I think, in terms of who we would have worked with in advance in Rio or in some of the other cities. Other key results. This one was pretty ambitious, but welcoming 50 plus new MoonDAO citizens into the Space Acceleration Network. I think that was a big stretch from the beginning, considering I think we entered the quarter with something like 130 citizens at that point in time. I have to go back and look, but yeah, it seemed pretty hard to do. But we did get 5 citizens from Brazil and another 3 that signed up basically for the Baikonur rocket launch contest. So, there's 8 citizens there. I mean, obviously we kind of shot for the moon, so to speak, with the number of citizens that we were looking for out of this trip. But there's still more to come. Obviously, we need to still follow up with more people. And work on bringing them into the network, because it's not, the trip just wrapped up in mid-September, and it's not necessarily easy to get someone into crypto and on chain in a moment. I mean, obviously in the EV, we've done a lot of work to improve that, make that easier, but it's still a hurdle for some people. So yeah, I think we'll still continue to see more growth in Brazil in the coming weeks or months in Q4, but that's all we can report on for right now. Key result 4 was social media posts and videos. Vartan did a great job documenting the trip. He was constantly filming or taking photographs throughout the entire trip. A couple weeks ago, we did a special town hall where we featured the Brazil trip. And so basically all the photos that you saw during that slideshow and the videos that we showed, there were 4 that we showed during that town hall, those were all done by Vartan, which were really, really well done. He's still got more in process, as we say here, 7 more in process. But yeah, they got pulled out to IAC in Sydney, Australia. So that kind of interrupted the flow of the deliverables. But we still anticipate those coming through here in the next couple weeks once that trip wraps up, and we can still release stuff related to the Brazil project. So that's not done. He did submit here, I guess, 20 gigabytes of photos and videos that I have on my drive. There's just a lot to go through. So we do have the raw stuff available to use in other ways too. And this was kind of a bonus key result that wasn't necessarily planned for, but we launched the contest around the Art Rocket project, as I mentioned earlier, with the open vote. So yeah, we had 14 awesome submissions from all over the world. A couple of those were from Brazil, Colombia, the US, Canada, I forget where else, but a few countries, 4 or 5 countries. So even those entries have generated a lot of social media impressions and more collab posts out of that. Colin actually just sent me a graphic right before this town hall too about a big spike in traffic to the Art Rocket page here in the past couple of days as we opened the vote, which is really cool to see. So yeah, I guess as Anastasia said in the video, we hope this project continues to have a lasting impact in terms of some of the ideas that were, born out of this project. We hope to see them become a reality in terms of real projects and future impact to MoonDAO. But yeah, that's about it in terms of the OKRs. Got a lot of stuff from each of the individual contributors here. Also, yeah, shout out Julio for his help. William was a key person on the ground there in Brazil. The distribution for rewards, and we have the treasury transparency here, a summary of the expenses to the project, MoonDAO's project, in terms of the averages per person for hotels, lodging, transport, all of that. The flights figure is fairly high, but to be expected. It was international flights from the US for a couple team members, and then there were a lot of internal flights because we visited 4 cities in a relatively quick time. So yeah, all those internal flights added up. But yeah, we've got the reimbursements here. The one thing that I will note is that there is the $1,200 left over in the multi-sig for this project. And so that's what's being held back or retained, if you will, for the Art Rocket project winner. But yeah, that's essentially it for the Art Rocket project. I did have a link to the town hall that we did a couple weeks ago here, just on the Art Rocket project trip. It was about an hour where we just kind of did stories and deep dive and project or photos and videos of the project. So stuff from the 4 of us that were part of that is linked here at the top too, if you want to check that out. But I don't know if there are any questions coming in anywhere from Discord or social media, but happy to entertain those. So yeah, cool. All right, well, I don't see anything at this point in time, so I think we can move on to the next project. We can get Injabab. Are you available? Let's see.
Hello.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. All right.
Cool.
Awesome work on the Art Rocket project, everybody. That was awesome. I shared my screen. I don't know. Why not?
Yeah. Hang on. Wait, who do we got here? We got Pablo up here. Hang on. There we go.
Everybody's sharing their screens, so you have to pick out of the 10.
Cool. So yeah, you can take it away.
Yeah. So I ran the world's biggest analog crew member scholarships project. This was originally Iman's idea. Iman knows a couple of the analog astronauts. that are participating, and was an analog astronaut himself before he became an astronaut. And he basically suggested that we do scholarships. In the early days, we bounced around a few ideas of like, can we do like 2 full scholarships, or how many could we do? And we initially settled on providing 10 scholarships for a total of $12,000. I'd encourage you to go read the full proposal, which explains more about like the breakdown, and I'll show the cost at the end, the amount that we will be sending to each of the candidates who are all starting their mission on Monday. So the goal of the project was to provide funding for 10 members, but we also wanted to have them join the community and not just receive funding. So our first objective when we did the project was actually to onboard at least 10 new applicants. We had 10 scholarships, and so we wanted at least 10 people to join the Space Acceleration Network. And we had a stretch goal of 25, which was maybe a little bit ambitious, but we did get kind of close. 18 of the applicants, we had 18 applications to the WBA, and joining the Space Acceleration Network was a requirement for that. Of course, I guess most people aren't crypto native, so it was definitely a challenge to get people to join, but we did everything in our power. The executive board graciously offered a discount for Space Acceleration Network, so we weren't having people pay to join, and we were able to provide financial assistance for them to join as well. And I guess the key result here is that 17 out of the 18 applicants were brand new to the network, so it's 17 new citizens. So that's a pretty good result. Not quite the 25 on the stretch that we had hoped, but definitely more than 10, more than minimum. The week before, it was looking like we wouldn't even have 10 applicants, and then all of a sudden we had a nice surge. So we did get a good pool of candidates from the WBA project. Once we set out the scholarship application, the main thing was to set up the criteria that we would select candidates by. When we were setting up the project, we wanted to make sure that we had a diversity of background and diversity of need. So we considered several factors. The first one that we considered was like country of origin. We wanted to try to promote people from developing or less developed nations to join the project. We also wanted to get a sense from the candidates of what their inspiration and impact from this mission would be from their own perspective. And we also considered strongly financial need. Is a pretty big cost in the several $1,000s to participate, in addition to like things like airfare and transportation. So we definitely wanted to provide the most benefit to the people who would otherwise not be able to participate. We tried to be very intentional about selecting these criteria to give us a most well-rounded look at the applicants and give the most deserving individuals the chance to review it. If you're interested to go see the application form, I left a link here in the final report. You can go see what the applicants had to fill out. And if you also look on the moondao.com/WBA, you can kind of see the responses to 2 of the questions. We did keep the country of origin and the financial need confidential because we did want to maintain privacy. And so the financial information is only available to executive board members who own the file structure and members of the committee. And we selected the top 10 candidates. I want to say thank you to the committee members. Iman, Titan, and Eliza all served on the committee. And also special thanks to Ryan for stepping in when we had a bit of a tiebreak situation to help us select the top 10. The top 10 candidates were all asked to participate. And you all will have seen a few weeks ago, we had the candidates come and present themselves and their candidacy to the DAO. If you go on to our website at the WBA link, you can see the videos and also the text responses that everyone produced. And that was the basis of their candidacy. One of the key successes I thought about this was we were able to use StreamYard to interweave live attendance and asynchronous attendance. We had a couple individuals who had for technical reasons based on their job or their personal situation weren't able to attend live, but we were able to present videos. And we kept everyone to 2 minutes so that it wasn't like a 3-hour long presentation. So I think it was a pretty good collaboration between the candidates and ourselves to provide this sort of live competition, but also be flexible based on people's situations to be able to present live, which I know is sometimes difficult based on timing. We were able to get all the candidates to present in some form, and that was made available to the DAO. And the DAO members were able to directly vote on the finalists and select the candidates. We're still working on fund distribution. We had all the candidates sign an agreement just to say that if they couldn't participate, that we could recoup the funding, and also express their interest about whether they want to provide media back to us. So that's still kind of ongoing. Majority of the funds will go out today or tomorrow, but some of the funding we have to hold back until we can actually get a hold of the candidates again. Again, I wanted to say a big thank you to the team, especially Dr. Iman for coming up with this idea, but also Titan and Eliza for helping go through this. I think it would have been hell to personally try to pick the 10 candidates, so I'm glad we had a good impartial group to go there. Finally, I just wanted on the transparency side, so all of these numbers match up with our first, second, third, and finalist prize. We're sending them all their amount, which is available as USDC in the treasury at the moment, and it will be sent out shortly. And we're also providing gas assistance. We figured it seemed silly to make them pay to get a scholarship. That was a little bit of and also we did that for the Space Acceleration Network gas fees as well. We sent them $2 each or $1 each, something like that, to make sure that there wasn't a financial burden for them to apply to the scholarship. So yeah, all in all, I think it was a pretty successful project. Like I said, we have 17 new members, and we're directly funding the first ever global synchronous distributed space analog. So I just want to say thanks to everybody for supporting this, and we definitely have a strong group of 10 finalists. As I think Titan said at one point, some of these people will definitely go on to fly to space or do other awesome things in space. So thanks so much, everybody, for your support and contributing to this project and helping us deliver some scholarships to very deserving individuals. So thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Yeah, great work on the project. Really cool to see all the new citizens, and also just see them continuing to be involved. Like we had some that also applied for the Baikonur launch opportunity.
Yep.
That was also restricted to citizens. So it's great to just keep building on these things. So I think the WDA project did a great work at that, and we're seeing still some stories and stuff starting to come through now from candidates as they set off on their journeys, because WBA, the world's biggest analog, is starting next week, I believe, the 13th.
Yeah, I think it starts on Monday for most of the habitats. Some of them might ingress the night before and wake up and start. So, but yeah, they're definitely all excited and busy, which is probably why we can't get a hold of some of them to give them their money. So, but yeah, we're very excited to support them. And I would also mention that there is a potential for some media to come out of this. We're still not quite organized, and there's some interaction that has to be done with WBA, but there is some interest from the candidates to produce like a little documentary or interviews afterwards. So we'll have to follow up on that and make sure we can capitalize on that sort of retrospective, as it were, after the mission. So definitely looking forward to that.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much, Bob.
Yep. Bye now.
Bye-bye. Cool. So yeah, I think we're still missing Sheepy Anna right now. So I'll invite Pablo up on stage. How's it going?
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me? All right. Is this going through?
I hear you. Cool. Take it away.
Cool. All right. Thanks, Ryan. All right, so I will be presenting some of the results from the executive branch over the past quarter. First, I'm going to get into some stats, and then I'm going to do a little demonstration here of some of the new features that we've added to the website. So, a major focus for us over the past quarter is on revenue. We saw strong growth of citizens. So we grew the network from 114 citizens to 152 citizens. So 30% growth in the past 6 months. We also added 4 new teams. So that's 25% growth of the teams. And then on top of that, we saw a big rally in Ethereum overall. So all of that combined, we had an increase of revenue of over 65%. So this is, and I want to be clear about that metric. So it is taking all of the current citizens and the subscription price and multiplying that, and then doing the same thing with teams. And then we're also including DeFi revenue from liquidity pools, and we're also including the ETH staking. So we're staking almost 100 ETH and getting a percent yield from that ETH as well. So yeah, that's all great. But what I'm more excited about is, well, I mean, revenue is great. I am very excited about revenue. But I am also really excited about all of the features that we were able to ship over the last 3 months. So what you're looking at here right now is the first demo that we've done of what we call the quest system. So these are essentially actions that you can take within our app. So if you are at moondao.com and you're a citizen, you can just get a bunch of governance power by just doing different things within the app. And so yeah, there's various quests. I've already claimed some of them myself. So, okay, for example, contributing to the community circle, you can complete a quest by contributing to that circle, and there are different stages. So you can see I'm on stage 3 of 5 here. And then if I click claim, it will take a little bit of time, but then it will check using an oracle to see whether or not I have actually completed this, and then it will automatically send me some of the Mooney involved, which is great. So now it's waiting for blockchain confirmation, and the quest has been claimed. So there's a lot of cool tech behind this as well. But yeah, I'm very happy with this result, and it will also help people kind of understand how to use the MoonDAO app, which has been a challenge for us because there are actually so many features, and a big focus for us was actually developing this dashboard that you're looking at right now. So this dashboard essentially highlights all of the different things that are happening within the MoonDAO app. So you have quick actions, so you can propose to the community. So all these projects are start as proposals. You click that button, and it will send you to a form essentially that you can fill out to request funds from the community. The launch button, which is for our launch pad. So this is something that we've been working on a lot, and I actually, well, this is definitely bearing the lead because we're like 30 minutes into the town hall, but and we'll do maybe a more focused announcement as well. But we're actually going to be running the first version of the Launchpad next week. Thursday, we're going to be launching this, so you'll see more of this on social media. We're really, really, really excited about it. We're going to be supporting the Inspiration for Space Camp. So essentially, Jared Isaacman and a bunch of people from the Inspiration 4 mission have put together a good amount of money in order to fund new installations for Space Camp, and MoonDAO is going to be supporting some of that with our Launchpad. And yeah, I'm really excited about it, and we'll get into more of that soon. But yeah, just keep your eyes peeled for that. we have also launched, and this is like it doesn't look like much here on the left-hand side, but it really is. So what we've done is we are now routing liquidity pool fees. So, and I'll take a moment to explain that. So every time that the token trades, every time it is bought or sold on this liquidity pool, those fees go to a pool. And those fees essentially accrue and proportional to the amount of staked Mooney that you have, you can take those fees out by checking in every week. And so we've just started this. There's like a small amount that's like in that pool in terms of fees right now, but we're going to be essentially adding all of the essentially the all the fees that come from the launch pad and from all of these different revenue streams, and we're going to be allowing people that are staking Mooney to receive a proportion of that every week. So yeah, this is like, I think, a really, really cool and aligned incentive mechanism, because it essentially takes the on-chain revenue that we're creating, and then it gives everyone a stake in that on-chain revenue. This has been something that we've been working towards for a while. It's quite a beast because it's also multi-chain. So we've launched these liquidity pools across different chains, and it is essentially taking all of that liquidity and then putting it in a place where people can get a proportional fee to that. And so, yeah, this was a long time coming, and it's really only been operational in the last 2 weeks. And we haven't really announced it. We just kind of put it up there on the site. So some of you might have already been like poking around at it, but yeah, that's what it is, and it's pretty cool. And yeah, we also added retroactive rewards. So everyone who's like added contributions this quarter or has created a project this quarter, they receive retroactive rewards. And so now you can see that here on this page too. So essentially, I mean, hopefully it's kind of like people are starting to understand how this whole thing works, which is like you get Mooney, you stake it to get a stake within the organization. You can do contributions, you can get rewards. So what we're trying to really achieve here is to have people make money from being part of MoonDAO, and we want to grow the pie together. We believe in this sort of abundance narrative that like there's a lot of opportunities in space, and if we can work together, we can figure out how to work together, then really the scale of our ambitions can be really, really huge, and we can incentivize people from all over the world to work on these missions together. Yeah, you can see some of our on-chain metrics. So the number of citizens, our assets under management, our ARR. So we're actually updating this number right now. We just recently did a bunch of accounting, and so this number will be updated here soon. There's a PR that's active right now. Yeah, our proposals. A lot of this we've already kind of talked about, but it is it's really starting to come together. You can see all of the active projects this quarter, open positions. If anyone wants to make memes for MoonDAO, please apply. Open Lunar is also looking for a research fellow. Basically, all of the teams in our network, they can post on this jobs board. Yeah, and then of course our little visualization of the community, which you can see. Hey, there's some dots lighting up here in Brazil. It's the impact of our Brazil trip. We're still a lot of people in the U.S., but getting a decent amount coming in from Europe, and then different parts of Asia as well. So yeah, this has been. I mean, we've been developing this app for a long time, and this whole platform, or what you're looking at here, is really the cornerstone of all of these different things that we've developed over time. and we've really tried to distill it down into something that is easy for people to grok. And we hope that you guys get busy playing around with the quests and exploring the app and learning all these new features. And I'll go over some of the other OKRs here as well. Let me switch my screen and share a different screen. Here we go. Maybe a little bit less engaging, just a document, but we'll just go through this quickly. I've already talked about the growth in revenue that we've seen, which has been great. The UX revamp that we've done. We've also included, there was a question last town hall about some of the metrics on our website. And especially in the last month, we've seen a pretty strong growth. I guess this is what you like to see is up and to the right. Sorry.
Hey,
Ryan?
Pablo, you want to zoom in a little bit? It's a little bit small for us here.
Okay.
Thanks.
How's this? Yeah, so you can see this up and to the right. I guess, people like that. Here's some figures about how we calculated some of the revenue that's come in. So one of the big learnings is we've been working with a really, really awesome partner on our flagship launchpad mission. But there have been some delays. We don't want to rush it because it is going to be really, really, really awesome. And we want to give it the time to evolve. And so we really do want to have it be this like flagship, very ambitious thing. But what we've decided to do is, because we really want to get real world feedback as quick as possible, is to run our own version of the Launchpad, which is what I've talked about previously with the inspiration for Space Camp. And you'll hear a lot more about that over the next week. Our goal this year is to achieve 114,000 in ARR, and the bulk of that is really going to come from the Launchpad. We'll get a lot more information on how we're doing against that metric over the next 6 months as we roll out this first version of the Launchpad. We've had some cool teams that have joined. Type 2 Labs, really worth checking out. Celestial Commons, who's in one of our town halls. The Human Space Program with Frank White. Space Kind with Loretta. All really awesome teams. And they've also added stuff to the marketplace. So you can actually sign up for Space Kind via the marketplace, which is very cool. Objective number 2, which is essentially to operate, the DAO. I'm not going to get into all of this. I mean, we've had many proposals, weekly town halls, projects that we've supported. The biggest learning here is that we are going to develop some independent governance mechanisms. We rely on a couple providers for our governance, and we feel like we'd have a more reliable uptime if we could run some of these automations ourselves. But we've relied on some of these for a long time, and they've been really, really awesome. But we're also excited to kind of develop our own tools around it and have a bit more independence and flexibility around our governance. So that's going to be exciting. Objective number 3, so we ran a nomination period for a third lead of the executive branch. Before we did that, we kind of felt like it would be good to modify the Constitution to allow for a no vote in case that were either no nominations come through, or the nominations that do come through, the DAO doesn't feel strongly that that they should be added to the executive branch leadership. and we didn't receive any nominations for that period. We Our learnings are whether maybe there wasn't an advance notice or the nomination period wasn't long enough. But it could also just be that the DAO feels that a third elected leader isn't necessary right now. Currently, it's Ryan and myself, and yeah, we'll. So this nomination period runs every year. So it's okay to just have two leaders, but we'll run it again next year, and we'll see if we get any great nominations, and maybe a third leader will emerge. And yeah, member contributions. I'm not going to read this all out loud. Reward distribution, some of the transactions on the treasury. Yeah, the link, if you'd like to peruse all of these yourself, you can go through. And yeah, that's essentially all that I have. But yeah, I'll just leave it by saying go check out, if you're a MoonDAO citizen, go to moondao.com, go to the quests, and claim some of the rewards. Check out there's probably going to be things there that you didn't realize that you can do with the MoonDAO site. So yeah, you can also get rewards just for referring other citizens. So that's a cool thing as well. Yeah, so yeah, check that out. We've been putting our hearts into this for a while, and I think I'm really happy with how it's all kind of coming together on the MoonDAO site. And soon we'll have the launchpad out as well, so that's going to be you know really awesome for the team because we've been working hard on it for a while. So yeah, Ryan, I will pass it back over to you. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome stuff, Pablo. Super, super cool. The dashboard, of course, been hearing from a lot of people that just like randomly stumbled across it or whatever, that, wow, this is pretty cool. Lots of big changes. Yeah, and the refer a citizen feature too. It is, you can also go back in time. So, if somebody told you to join MoonDAO, you can go in and plug in their name and give them credit for having told you about MoonDAO, or having told you to come check out this wild, crazy, whatever MoonDAO community. And yeah, likewise, if you referred folks, you can ask them to add you back in. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, I guess we still don't have Anna. I'm not sure what happened there. So we'll have to figure out, get a video or something perhaps down the road, or I'm not sure what we should do there.
Maybe one of us can quickly share a screen and go through it. We won't do as good of a job as Anna, of course, but I think at the very least, people can be aware of the project and some of the results. And I don't know.
Yeah.
Seems. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I can pull that up here. I guess.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. Oh, let's see.
There we go. I'm sharing that screen if you want to pull it up.
Hang on, sorry. There we go. Cool.
Cool. All right. Well, I can kind of read through this, and yeah, of course, I won't be doing as good of a job as Anna, but I'll try my best here. So we had a group of people that went over to IAC, and they were led by Shipiana. There's a group of people, Shipiana, Phil, Enjabab, Eliza, and they all wrote a paper titled Art and Technology Collaboration in the Space Industry, from the 1960s to the 2000s. And it was accepted by IAC, and presented there. So yeah, it looks like they achieved objective number 1, which is to write and publish a paper, and then present it at IAC in Sydney. I know people are getting back from Sydney now, so I imagine, Shipiana is either in transit or very tired right now. Yeah, so I don't know if there's anything else really to add, but looks like they had pretty good attendance with 30 to 35 people that joined the session. Objective number 2 was to publish the paper in DeSci. So looks like the paper has been shared within MoonDAO, but it hasn't been published to a DeSci journal yet. Yeah, we've worked with different DeSci organizations in the past, and I think it's a really interesting area. So I'm sure that they can, publish it in the future. They probably just have not gotten around to it yet. Objective number 3, to publish on social media and share the insights of the paper and the conference presentation. And yeah, they've got various posts to social media with looks like a pretty decent amount of impressions. IEC just happened, so I'm sure we'll probably be hearing more about some of this stuff over time. And yeah, looks like a lot of these are very recent, as in like October 6th. So yeah, cool. Objective number 4 was to include the voices and talents of participating MoonDAO citizens in the creation. And yeah, looks like there were meetings within the MoonDAO Discord with people talking and sharing ideas. And the paper was authored by 4 different MoonDAO citizens, which is pretty cool. Objective number 5, gain more interest in citizenship from IAC. And yeah, looks like they were able to have the MoonDAO logo prominently featured. The 30 session attendees, 2 people in depth asked about MoonDAO. But again, IEC like literally just happened, so who knows how this will shake out. But it really has kind of, we'll likely see some of the results of this over the next couple weeks. And yeah, I try my best. I I hope I didn't miss anything here, but yeah, maybe Shipiana can also share some thoughts later in the Discord when she gets a chance.
Right. Yeah, I guess one thing I'll just note for the community too, that with the multi-sig on this project, basically the funds were transferred all in the beginning. I think there was maybe some miscommunication there, but all the funds were transferred out. So essentially what we're going to do there is like the difference between what her actual costs were and what was left over, but is in her bank account, is essentially the upfront payment that she will receive that will be subtracted from any retroactive rewards. In this case, that's just kind of the simplest and cleanest thing to do instead of getting it back on chain and transferring it in and all that. So yeah, that's the only thing I'll kind of flag there in the transactions portion of this final report. So yeah, that basically concludes our 4 projects for the Q3 retroactive rewards process. I guess the next steps here will be getting the vote up live on our website here within the next day or so, and we'll have a 5-day voting period where obviously all members of the community and citizens can cast their vote in terms of where they think the retroactive reward pool should be distributed. So again, we're distributing something on the order of 17 ETH and around 8 million Moon. I don't have the stats in front of me, but locked to be Mooney. And those will be distributed proportionally to the whims of the MoonDAO voting members and the results of that reward. So it could be 25% to one project and 15% to another project, or whatever the results might be. And then internally, those projects all have their own distribution percentages to contributors of the team, which you can see also within the final reports there. So yeah, that will be coming at you guys by the weekend, basically. And we're trying to make our retroactive rewards process smoother, faster, more agile. So we should be able to get this out, transferred to people's wallets before the end of the month at like worst case scenario, I think. but
I hope so.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm confident.
As long as everything goes smooth.
Right. Yeah. So we
Cool.
should have the vote
Well,
next
yeah.
week, and then calculate it and transfer things out in the next, week or two after that, I think. So we're targeting.
Yeah.
So
Cool. I don't know if there are any questions that came in via Discord or any on social media, but if people do have questions, yeah.
Any more questions, folks? Or obviously we can sound off async too. But yeah, next week, as Pablo alluded to, we'll have the big reveal around the launch pad and kind of next steps there, which is super exciting. Yeah, we're really excited to finally get this out there into the world and, have a real use case for this and do good, get the MoonDAO community together to do more good in the real world. So that's exciting. And the week after that, we have a chat with Dan Maidenbauer from John Hopkins APL. So that should be a great talk. And yeah, that's what we got here on the next couple weeks on the calendar, and some more cool stuff on the way for sure. And, we're entering a new quarter here. So Q4, again, we'll have another decent pot of rewards, retroactive rewards. But, if you have cool ideas for a project that you want to see make happen here in MoonDAO, need some seed funding, or just have a cool idea that you want to make happen, we would love to hear them. So, take a look at some of the ideas that came across from the Baikonur launch, put your own ideas into ideation. Let's talk. Let's see how we can make some cool new projects happen for Q4. I'm excited to see what we got cooking.
Yeah, I want to highlight that we're starting a new quarter, so really now is the time to hit the ground running and submit proposals. That'll give you more time throughout the quarter to make a big impact and then get more rewards through our system. So yeah, right now is really the ideal time to submit. And there have been also like some really good threads in ideation, and I'd encourage a lot of the authors of those threads to just go for it and put together a proposal, get feedback from the Senate, and then present it to the community. So yeah, and also a lot of the ideas that have come through for the Baikonur vote are really good. So I do hope to see a lot of them evolve into projects.
Definitely. I'm encouraging them to put them in, put them on paper and make them into real projects, real proposals that we can make happen either this quarter or the quarter after that. But yeah, anybody has any cool ideas, feel free to reach out to me or Pablo. We're happy to, workshop any ideas or help guide you in the right direction to see, if we can set it up for success for the MoonDAO community. Win-win-win projects. But cool. We're right at the top of the hour here.
Perfect. Okay. All right, then I think we're good to close up. Thanks,
Awesome.
everyone.
Thank you, everyone. See you next week.
All right. See y'all. Bye.
Welcome to MoonDAO, a revolutionary governance model and mission-oriented community that's reshaping collaboration in the space industry. Our mission is to create a self-sustaining, self-governing settlement on the moon to act as a launch point into the cosmos. MoonDAO is governed like a nation, with its own economy, constitution, voting system, treasury, elections, and senate. But internet native, and so without the limitations of geography. In 2022, we sent our first member to space, showcasing our model's capacity for real-world impact. Now, we're implementing key solutions for global collaboration in the space industry. We offer a borderless, permissionless platform that enables everyday people to participate in the future of space development and exploration. Be part of our lunar legacy and join the MoonDAO movement today.